Everybody should be marking up a lot of pairs. It's gonna help you, I promise. It's gonna hurt in the beginning. You're gonna feel out of place. You're gonna feel like, what the heck is going on? Why am I doing this? It's taking forever. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't see a setup. Like, why am I doing this? But I guarantee you, if you stick with it, stuff is gonna start to make sense. Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope you are doing well. It's been a minute since I've last seen you on camera. Probably about 6 weeks or so. Has it been 6 weeks? I was in Miami. But anyway, I wanted to come on here, say what's up. I hope trading has been going well for you, and that you are continuing to make progress in your trading efforts. And I just wanted to drop a few nuggets before the trading week began. So I got a question last week on one of my shorts. Somebody asked me, what is the benefit of trading 28 pairs? And I've received this question several times, and so I'm like, okay, I'm about to do a little video on it and tell y'all why I think it makes sense for new or established traders to be marking up 28 charts. Okay, I don't trade gold, I don't trade silver, and I don't trade oil. I have historically stuck with majors and minors. Exotics I leave alone, but the majors and the minors have been good to me, and so that's what I trade. And so it's really not any rocket science. I think the more at bats you have, the more wins you'll have. When you do something, this cat. When you do something repetitiously, you're going to develop a strength in that area, right? So the only thing that I can really compare this to is me working out. I got a trainer recently. Some of y'all have seen the video and the content on Instagram and made your little comments. Most of them have been positive. But some of y'all like, why are you doing this? You don't even need to do it. I do. I'm telling you, I do. But anyway, I can only compare it to that experience. Not I can only compare it, but I can compare it to that experience. That's what's relevant in my life right now. And so when I first got started trading, it was about 3 weeks ago. And so I hired a great trainer. And after like the first 2 sessions, I told him, I told him, I don't like you. Like, I don't like how you make me feel. I don't like this at all. And my body was just in shock. You know, we work out for an hour. There's a part that's cardio, and then there's a part that's strength training. And although I might be okay in cardio, really I'm not. But the strength training was a shock to my body, right? And so my muscles were hurting. I couldn't hardly walk. I had to shimmy across the floor, shuffle across the floor. I couldn't really lift my legs. Everything hurt. It was uncomfortable. It was something totally brand new and totally different. And I felt awkward. It was uncomfortable. I think that's the best word to describe it. And he's like, Kaci, after I told him I didn't like him, he was like, chill. Like, you're gonna be fine. Like, this is with anything new. When you do it a few times, like, you're going to be better. You're gonna feel better. Your body isn't gonna hurt as much. It's gonna be easier for you to go through the reps. Like, you're gonna be able to do this. So just keep at it. And so I compare that to like marking up charts. The sentiment that I got when people ask me that question is like, why are you doing this? Like, all of this is extra. You don't need to do it. When in fact, I think it's probably the key as to why I have been able to turn my trading around and really become successful with it. And so I'm going to share with you the reasons why I take this approach, and again, why I think you should too. All right. We talked about the first reason, building the muscle. Basically, that's what you're doing. When you go through 28 pairs, you are strengthening the skill set of technical analysis. And I know it might feel crazy. You might feel like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, you feel awkward. You feel out of water. You feel out of place, right? And you're just stumbling and winging your way through. That's fine. That is absolutely fine, because the only way you're going to get to a point where you're going to become proficient in this is to do just that. You have to push past that part. And when you push past that part, things are going to start to make sense. Things are going to start to click. When you're on the charts on a repeated basis, you're going to start to see things that in your studying, you say, oh, I get it now. I see this right here. This and this and this and this makes sense. So it's to build the muscle. It's to exercise the muscle, get you the repetition that you need in order to see those opportunities. The second thing is, when I first started trading, the person I was learning from, they recommended that you pick 2 or 3 pairs. And I get it why they did it that way, because you can easily become overwhelmed if you're trying to trade everything. So me saying that I mark up 28 pairs is not me saying that I'm trading everything. That would be virtually impossible. I would have to have a huge account in order to make that happen. I'm not saying you need to trade all 28 pairs. What I'm saying is give yourself the best possibility to catch pips every single week in the highest rewarding setups and the lowest risk, right? So you give yourself more opportunity. Let's say you decide you only trade in 3 pairs. Like when I started, I was only trading GBP AUD, GBP JPY, and GBP CAD. That's it. So what do you do when those 3 pairs don't have no setup? You not trading? You need to be trading. In order to get better, you got to trade, right? So if you go through and you're able to mark up your charts, figure out what has a potential setup, and then out of those setups, figure out what has the highest reward with the lowest risk. So when I say that, I mean what has the smallest stop loss, but the biggest amount of pips that you could catch to the upside. Like, that's the thing. You want to put yourself in a situation where you're taking the lowest risk possible in order to gain the maximum. That's the name of this game, right? And so by marking up 28 charts every single week, you give yourself the opportunity to find those setups. If you're not looking at them, you can't possibly discover what they are, and you can't possibly trade them. You know, one of the things that has been helpful to me in marking up the 28 pairs is a little workbook. In that workbook, you can kind of get an idea of organization. And not an ideal organization. You can become organized. So in it, it lists like all of the pairs that you're trading, and you can mark out why you're trading or what you're taking, what you see. Because when you're looking at 28 different pairs, it is possible to get confused with different setups. You're not going to remember everything. So you have to record what it is you thought you saw. You know, hey, on the daily, on odd CAD, I see bullish activity, but on the 4-hour, there's a possible reversal that I could take for a sale for 200 pips. I'm going to enter when I see this, 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 and this, right? So you're able to easily go back and check it out. So I would recommend, if you don't use that, create yourself something where you have all of your pairs listed. You give yourself some space to write some notes about why you're doing what you're doing or what you see, and then keep track of it. I like what I have because it's cloud-based. I can access it from anywhere, and it's easy to get access to, right? So if you like writing, get you a notebook, make it happen. But some way you need to be recording your analysis, even if it's on the chart. Put it on the chart so that you know what you're dealing with and you can see things play out. I would also recommend that when you record what it is you see, that you set it up on the chart. And when I say set it up on the chart, I simply mean draw out the setup. So draw your trend line, draw your stop loss, draw your take profit, and draw what you need to see to happen in order to enter, and then what you think is going to happen as well. That's going to be helpful to you as you move through the setups. Like, I don't make videos about everything that I mark up every single week. There would be no possible way. But what I do is in my charts, I go ahead, I draw everything out, I take a picture, you know, a screenshot or whatever you want to call it. And then when I come back at the end of the week, like, dang, this played out, this happened. And I might not have gotten into that trade or setup because I had other opportunities that I was looking at or that I was actively involved in. And so it's good just to see, like, I'm getting good at this. Like, my analysis is actually panning out. I know what I'm doing, right? So I would highly recommend that you do that if you're using Smart Trader. Now, they don't have a long and short tool like TradingView. Smart Trader, if you're watching, I think that's something you guys should add, because right now we're doing it the old school way. I am drawing out my stop loss, a red box with a red drawing box, and I'm drawing out my take profit with a green, box. But it works for right now. I would combine that with like the lot size calculator that I have available, because it'll give you like what position size you're trading. Now, this leads me into my other point. People ask like, oh, you trading every single? No, Like I said, that would be humanly impossible for me to do unless I'm taking 10-cent lot sizes on everything, and I don't want to do that because that's going to take forever. But that calculator will help you figure out what size position you need to be taking based on the account you have. You could do the math by hand for sure. You could definitely do it by hand. But I am a person who likes process consistent, right? And I like my stuff to be accurate. So I utilize the calculator. I plug in like the account size. I plug in the desired risk percentage for the account size. And then based on the setup, so based on my stop loss, it tells me what lot size I need to be taking. Now, when I first started trading, this was not something that was taught to me. Unfortunately, it was something that I learned later in the game. When I first started trading, I downloaded MT4 and I just started stumbling around figuring things out. And I'm like, okay, this lot size thing, I didn't know it was a lot size. I'm like, this is the multiplier. If I increase this, I make more money. But what I didn't know is if I increase it too much, I'm gonna lose money. So that came later in the training for me, that I began to understand the relationship between lot sizes, the setup, and then growing consistently, being able to grow the account. In the calculator is that workbook where you can record, like, you know, what your idea is, your trade idea, and being able to set something up. So everybody should be marking up a lot of pairs. It's gonna help you, I promise. It's gonna hurt in the beginning. You're gonna feel out of place. You're gonna feel like, what the heck is going on? Why am I doing this? It's taking forever. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't see a setup. Like, why am I doing this? But I guarantee you, if you stick with it, stuff is gonna start to make sense. It's gonna start to click. Like, I have no other way to describe it. And I know people probably get sick of me saying that because I see the comments in the Facebook group. I get the emails. Like, I've been doing this for a minute. I studied the information. I went through your course. Like, but I still am lost. It just feels like a lot. I'm still confused. That's fine. That's normal. You're not any different than anybody else. The key is going to be the discipline and going and executing what you've learned. And then one day it's like, oh, that's why that looks like that. Or that's why this should go with this. Like, oh, like the light bulb just pops. I promise you, if you stick with it long enough, give yourself the room in order to be unsuccessful with it, and give yourself grace, and know that if you continue to work at it, like, there's no other option but to be successful. I have no other way to describe this. I really hope that you guys who've been emailing, who've been commenting on IG, who've been DMing me, telling me about your struggle, I hope you stick with it. It is not foreign. It is not uncommon for you to be doing this and still feel like, I have no clue what's going on. You have to spend time on the charts. You have to spend time on the charts. That's the only way you're going to get better at it. I personally believe, because I have put more effort into this realm, right? I've become more consistent. I mark up the 28 different pairs every single week. This is the reason that my trading has improved. This is the reason that I've been able to be consistent. This is the reason that I have opportunities to trade, because I'm out there looking for them. Y'all gonna get it. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Please just stick with it. Please just stick with it. In the end, it's going to be worth all of the uncomfortability. It's going to be worth all of the headache. It is going to be worth all of, what do they call it? Like, I can't even think of the word, but it's going to be worth it. I promise you, it's going to be worth it. And you are going to be like, I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad that I stuck with this. Like, this is dope. This success that I'm experiencing is dope. So it ain't hard. Like, trading is not rocket science, and I hate to put it like this because I know that there's somebody out there who feels like it is. It's not rocket science. Trading is about discipline, it's about process, and it's about execution. Get yourself disciplined, get you a strategy that works, understand your process, and know how to execute. You will be well on your way. Okay? So I appreciate y'all for watching this video. I wish you many pips this trading week. And I'm going to see y'all on the next video. And if this video was some sort of encouragement for you, if you got some knowledge from it, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you know people who can benefit from it, share it with them too. And then also, because somebody said something. I made a post about USD JPY. That thing moved like 215 pips towards the end of the week. Somebody said it must be nice. Now, I did a step-by-step video at the beginning of the week showing you my analysis on USD JPY. Turn your notifications on. I mean, because y'all want to be up to date on like time-sensitive information. That was an opportunity that had they gone through, marked up the chart with me, saw it for themselves, they could have figured out how to get into it. So turn on your notifications. Otherwise, you're going to be the person in the comments talking about must be nice. You don't want to be that person, okay? So I will see y'all very soon. And if you're looking for a group of individuals who are like you don't want no hype, you don't want no fluff, you really just want to understand this trading stuff, make sure that you click the link in the video description to join my no cost Forex Facebook mastermind group. I'd love to have you. I try to do periodic trainings inside of that group. You do have to turn on your notifications within there too, so that you can see when I do go live or post information and content that will be relevant to your trading journey. All right, so I'll see y'all in the next video. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Bye.